I follow Dr. Mack and Mrs. Clark into the aereo room and place Lucy on the exam table. I've helped Dr. Mack perform glucose tests on Lucy and other animals lots of times before. But right now, I'm a little nervous. What if Lucy is having some kind of complication because of her diabetes? She is getting kind of old. "All right, Lucy, are you ready?" Dr. Mack says, and calmly approaches the Siamese with a needle. I move forward and hold Lucy gently in place. Dr. Mack inserts the needle into a vein in Lucy's neck and draws the blood she'll need for the test. Lucy hardly moves. "Brave girl," I say. When she's finished drawing the blood, Dr. Mack gives Lucy a pat, then puts the blood sample into a centrifuge. That's a machine that separates the solid part of the blood, the red and white blood cells, from the fluid part. The clear-looking fluid is called serum, and it's the part that gets tested for its glucose level. "When did she have her last meal, Esther?" Dr. Mack asks as she works. "This morning at 8 as usual," Mrs. Clark replies. "She ate it all, like a good girl. She's been eating very well lately." That's a good thing. In addition to giving her daily insulin injections, Mrs. Clark also has to be extra careful about what Lucy eats. She feeds her a special high-fiber, low-fat cat food in several small meals a day, instead of just leaving dry food down all the time like I do for Mittens. It's really important for diabetic cats to get regular meals, as well as regular injections. Otherwise, their sugar levels can get all messed up, and that can put their lives in danger. I stroke the cat as Dr. Mack works. Lucy finally starts to purr, stretching out first her front and then her back legs so that her claws extend, then rolling onto her side and tilting her chin up for me to scratch. I smile, figuring that's all a good sign. Sure enough, when Dr. Mack finishes with Lucy's tests, she tells Mrs. Clark, "Her sugar is fine." "Oh, good," Mrs. Clark says with a smile. She picks up Lucy and hugs her. "Ready to go, sweetheart?" "There are plenty of hot dogs left," I say, hoping Mrs. Clark will stay so I can hang out with Lucy a little longer. "Thanks, but this damp weather isn't good for my old bones," Mrs. Clark says. "Or Lucy's either. We're going to go home and try to stay dry." Dr. Mack and I walk Mrs. Clark out to the reception area. Mrs. Clark settles her bill, while Lucy sits on the counter, washing her face. Then Mrs. Clark picks up her cat. "Okay, girl," she says. "Let's get going before the storm gets any worse." "You know how I feel about you driving with Lucy, Esther," Dr. Mack says. "Why don't I lend you a cat carrier for the ride home?" Mrs. Clark shakes her head firmly. "No, thank you. I've got a couple collecting dust in my attic. Lucy hates them. She'll be just fine riding on my lap as usual." Dr. Mack shrugs slightly, looking disappointed. She thinks all pets should be safely confined when they ride in a car. But she can't make her patients' owners do anything they don't want to do. As I open the door for Mrs. Clark and say goodbye, I notice a van with a canoe tied on top of it, parked in the lot next to the clinic. A customer named Mr. Germain, he always tells us to call him Bill, is standing nearby, talking to David. He hurries to help Mrs. Clark climb into her car. Soon Mrs. Clark pulls away. I wave at Lucy, who is standing up and looking out the car window, with her paws pressed against the glass. Bill Germain walks over to me with a friendly smile on his face. "Hi there, Sunita," he says. "Hi," I reply, tipping my head back to look up at him. He's a big man, tall and wide, with a loud, booming voice. He makes David, who is right behind him, look even shorter and skinnier than he really is. Bill Germain's wife, Jacqueline, climbs out of the van. She's just the opposite of her husband. She's petite, with dainty features and a soft, soothing voice. She's the weather reporter on one of the local TV stations. Bill Germain is a meteorologist, too. That's a scientist who studies the weather, but he teaches at the university.